Now I'd like to invite the Honourable Dwayne Seymour, Minister of Health, Environment and Culture, to deliver his opening remarks. Minister Seymour has been an avid supporter of the Alex Panton Foundation from the day it was launched, and we thank you for your support, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Governor, thank you for that. And I know when you were talking about kindness, and online, we know who you were talking about. As Ms. Lizette just said, this is my 4th year, I believe, since inception, coming to the Alex Panton Foundation Symposium. And wouldn't have missed it for the world. And I'm glad to see that there's so much emphasis being put on youth, as I know how it is as a youth to suffer, and there's nowhere to go. I want to say thank you to Ms. Lizette, Ms. Jean, and Governor Roper. Now that protocol has been established, I am delighted to add my personal welcome to everyone here this morning. I am honored to have been invited today to give some brief remarks. This is my 4th year attending this event, and each year it seems to just be getting bigger and better. As I look around this morning, I am so impressed by the overwhelming support of the community, volunteers, medical professionals, parents, teachers, carers, students, family members, and concerned citizens, all here to learn more about mental health issues facing our young people, and importantly, about the real solution that can be put in place to help them if we all work together towards a common goal. How many people here would love to see us go back into a lockdown? By show of hands. It's just what I thought. It had me too, even though I was going to press conferences every day. Trust me, mental health, just leaving your family home, you don't know what you're going to bring back home, was really a challenge. This year's theme, Youth Mental Wellness, Reflection, Recovery, and Resilience, is so appropriate after the year we have had all been through. And while today, of course, is focused specifically on youth mental health, wellness, I think we can all benefit from a reflection of the past 12 months on our own mental wellness recovery, as we have all been affected, and indeed on building our own resilience. I would like to give my thanks to the Alex Panton Foundation, its founders, Jean and Dwayne Panton, its committees and its many volunteers, all the remarkable work that has been done over the last 4 years, and in particular to recognize you for extraordinary efforts in exceptionally challenging circumstances in 2020. We appreciate your services to our community. Over 4 short years, and despite the global pandemic, we have seen the Foundation continue to grow in pursuit of its mission and launch many important initiatives which are making a real and lasting impact in our community, some of which have already been briefly mentioned by Jean this morning, and I know some of the presentations today will be providing updates and data on many of them. I'd like to briefly just highlight a few. At last year's symposium, we heard about the launch of the Foundation's emotional literacy programs and how they provide tools for younger children to cope with emotionally challenging situations. I'm delighted that my colleague, the Minister of Education, is here today, as I am aware that with her ministry's assistance, This program has now been rolled out to all government primary schools and a number of private schools. We look forward to the positive impact that this will have on our youth for many years to come. Moving to the Foundation's work with teens and adolescents, I'd like to highlight the participants of the APF Youth Ambassadors program. I know that some of them are speaking today. Hearing testimonials directly from our youth, from our young people is so impactful, and I'm sure that they will be a highlight of today's proceeding. Imagine at 10 years old, after being teased that your father is crazy, I sat down trying to add up when and what age I would go crazy. Also not fully understanding what was going on. That's how I thought as a young man. Made a commitment to not do drugs because someone said my father did that. So after hearing that, I said, well, if my father did drugs, maybe that's what caused the mental health problem. I didn't know. I was young, 9, 10 years old at the time. And hearing of how popular my dad was, you know, and in a situation when you hear these things, with your dad being the first seaman to bring a convertible car to the island, the first seaman to build a cement house as a black man, and then see the state of him later on, you know, it didn't all add up as a kid. So I tried all my life not to be seen as crazy, because that's what they call my father. Later on, after receiving help, realized that he wasn't crazy, but didn't know that until he was later on in his life, after he had been sent to Jamaica in the mental health ward up there, and visiting him a couple times and speaking to the doctor. We found out it was mostly the drugs, and he had repaired himself. For 10 years in Jamaica, he was there. They begged me. That's why the mental health facility is such a pleasure that I'm the minister trying to get that done, because so many Caymanians that were there at the Red Hills and the Bellevue facility begged me, and I wasn't elected then. I wasn't even thinking about politics. Begged me to speak to the politicians to see if we could get a mental health facility built in Grand Cayman. And that was some 20-something years ago. And after my father had been healed, he was even working in Jamaica and everything. And he, in fact, this very month, his birthday is normally the 24th of February. So I thought that he should spend his birthday, his last birthday in Jamaica. And he finally agreed to come home, because he didn't want to come home back to the same community around the same people, because he thought he would go back to the same things. But he finally agreed to come back after the doctor said that his heart was too weak and that he wanted to die in his own country. On the 22nd of February, he died. 2 days. Two days before his birthday. And I went up and saw him. His clothes and everything was already pressed, ready to, because I was going to take him back to Cayman on the 25th of February. So, for me, coming to this symposium is a must. because I know what it feels like never to have a father. So I grew by myself until I was about 10 years old. So, and all that while, my bed was the floor. So, when you see all those things on Mall Road, it hurts because none of it is true. I've also been made aware of all of the efforts that the youth ambassadors themselves have been made during the pandemic, such as reaching out and assisting their peers, and for that I applaud and thank them. I am keen to learn more about new partnerships between the Cayman Islands Crisis Center and the Alex Panton Foundation as they launch an innovative online platform to further their outreach to our communities of our young people. Focusing on other important partnerships, the Ministry of Health is proud to support the much-needed adolescent emergency mental health hub at the Georgetown Hospital in partnership with the Health Services Authority, which will provide much-needed coordinated special services for adolescents in the community, while the pandemic caused some delay in this important project. We anticipate its launch by the fourth quarter of this year. Also to be completed by the end of the year is a new long-term residential mental health facility, something I know many of you in this room have advocated for, and I cannot wait to see the facility open its doors. Finally, I'd like to congratulate all those involved in the recent decriminalization of suicide here in the Cayman Islands, a very important milestone eradicating the long-term stigma around mental health issues, illness. I encourage all delegates attending to actively participate in today's sessions and to visit all the exhibitors so they can leave with actionable takeaways. I look forward to hearing more from the symposium today and also from the Alex Panton Foundation in years to come as they continue to advocate for youth mental wellness in the Cayman Islands. I know the Foundation's board, every year I go over my time, and I know that they're probably saying, thank God this is last year's Minister of Health. But we'll see on April 14th. They say my billboards, you can see them from Georgetown, so have a great day.